Welcome to Meathead Test Kitchen, where food and fitness come to hang out. Nutrition, training, and life. It's all fair game on Meathead Test Kitchen.
Welcome to Meathead Test Kitchen, where we deliver information about your health and fitness journey that you may not be aware of. I'm Sadie.
I'm Sausha.
And this month we decided, after we bitched about shit that we weren't even supposed to be here for last week, that we're going to focus on the unsung heroes of your journey. So today we're going to talk about micronutrients and the vital role they have in your overall health. Let's get nerdy. We talk about macronutrients so fucking much. Like, everybody talks about macros. Well, welcome. We're here to talk about the unsexy, really important shit.
Yeah.
That probably will get buried on your TikTok feed again next week because they hate us right now.
It's fine. But you're
whatever.
Listening. You're here.
It's fine. So thanks for joining us.
We appreciate it. So what do they do? What micronutrients? Wow. I'm having a day. So I'm going to leave this in here because I'm a real person.
That's all right.
What do micronutrients do? Well, they often are referred to as vitamins and minerals. They are vital to healthy development, disease prevention, and well-being. With the exception of vitamin D, micronutrients are not produced in the body and must be derived from your diet.
And the way that you can get vitamin D is it's synthesized in your body via sunshine. So if you're feeling shitty, you might have a vitamin D deficiency in the middle of the wintertime when you don't have any sun. That's why people get sun lamps that they sit in front of for a couple minutes a day. Like, I'm not endorsing using a tanning bed because it's shown that tanning is not great for your skin's health and when you get old, even though I used to fucking love passing out for a 20-minute nap.
Cause cancer.
Yes. Cancer is not fun. So you should probably try to avoid it at all costs. But yeah, so vitamin D therapy is a really cool thing that we're not really going to talk about, but that's how you can get vitamin D within your body. If you
There's a couple other ways too. We'll cover that later in the episode.
Yeah, so people only need a small amount of micronutrients. That's why they're called micronutrients, but consuming the recommended amount is important. It is more important for you to hit your micronutrients than it is for you to hit your macronutrients. Why is that? We will discuss more. But at least half of the children worldwide younger than 5 years of age suffer from vitamin and mineral deficiencies. This is why your micronutrients are so fucking important. The World Health Organization recommends multiple types of interventions to address nutrition deficiencies. And those can look a bunch of different ways.
A bunch of different ways. And we won't super dive into that today, but there are other ways. And if you have any questions, I linked a fuckload of articles in the show notes.
All else fails, shoot us an email. hello@meatheadtestkitchen.com.
Yes. There are nearly 30 vitamins and minerals that your body cannot make on its own in adequate amounts that are considered essential. Eating less than optimal amounts of important vitamins, minerals, and other compounds can still contribute to a number of major illnesses such as heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cancer, osteoporosis. The list goes on.
And osteoporosis is one that you're going to want to hear about, especially if you're, in your mid to late 30s, going into your 40s, going into middle age. Welcome to it, motherfuckers. We're here. We're not even going to talk about going into it. We're fucking here.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're over the age of 33, you're in your fucking middle age. Hi. Yeah. Bienvenido. This is your life now.
Welcome.
But osteoporosis, especially if you're a femme, if you don't have a Y chromosome, is super important. Our body's bones break down quicker than if you do have a Y chromosome. So that's why weightlifting is important. That's why supplementing your bone density stuff is important. Vitamin D is very fucking important. And unfortunately, there's a lot of conflicting studies that have led to general confusion, and a lot of studies have led to marketing claims that may or may not be upheld by research. Here's the thing about micronutrients. They've been around for a long time. And when you have things that you've known about for a really long time, you're going to have an evolution of information as time goes on. So you're going to look at a study from, 25 years ago, and you're going to be like, well, that's fucking bunk. Yeah, it is. It's fucking total bunk because our technology from then to now has changed drastically. You have a fucking supercomputer in your pocket.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at studies and people are like, well, that study's bullshit. Not all of it's bullshit.
Right.
They just didn't have everything that we have now to know more about it.
Yes.
So, welcome to science. It is a building block process. Nothing is known as a fact right away. It takes a lot of trial and error.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that there are always extremes in any situation.
Absolutely.
So a lot of these studies from, 25 years ago, people that are trying to sell you stuff like supplements are still using some of that stuff to try to scare you into thinking that you have to buy every single fucking vitamin supplement that's out there.
And this is because marketing is a funny fucking thing. Technically, they can't get in trouble for using a study that's 30 years old if the claims back up what they're saying.
Right.
Technically, they're not lying if they can produce the receipts, but they're using bad information. Therein lies the problem. They're knowingly using bad information to market it to you.
And here is why. The best way to get vitamins and minerals is from a well-rounded diet, including fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, lean protein, and healthy fats.
Just eat food.
Literally, eat. If you are in search of lists of any of those things, we've gone into depth on this on several episodes. So go back, check the catalog. We always link our notes to every episode on meatheadtestkitchen.com.
Yes.
Or you can always send us a DM if you're having issues trying to figure out things that you like to eat.
There's a handy dandy search function in meatheadtestkitchen.com where you can click it and type in anything you want to fucking know about. And if it's on our website, it'll pull it up. If it's a recipe, if it's show notes, if it's anything. Like, it's there for you. I mean, it's not there for Sausha and I. We don't it's there for me to upkeep, but it's there for you. Like, that's a resource for you to check out if you want to. It's always there. And if the show notes don't show up, please let us know because it means I didn't click the episode notes box in WordPress.
Yeah.
Sorry. That totally didn't happen last week or any other time in the past.
We always put the show notes up there. It's literally the notes that we used from the show.
Yeah.
Because understand that sometimes we fly through this information. Some people read and retain information better than they hear and retain information. So that's why we do that.
Also, so you know that we're not just talking out of our asses for 30 minutes.
Right. Yes. And then you can go read any of the articles or studies that we used to present this information.
We believe in receipts. These are our receipts.
Yes.
So again, going back to micronutrients after I totally called myself out for not fucking posting show notes last week. Sorry, everybody. They were there. They just couldn't be viewed. Micronutrients play a part in your metabolism, maintenance of your tissue function, energy production, immune function, blood clotting, just to name a few things, you know, just a couple really, really important minor things.
Yeah.
You know, blood clotting. You want your blood to clot.
Yeah, you do.
Not too much, but you want it to clot.
Yes.
If you need to.
Yes.
But micronutrients are part of nearly every process in your body. They are the tiny chemicals that cause all the bigger chemical reactions that happen in your body. And that's why it's so damn important to make sure that you're getting them in the right proportions, especially if you're trying to grow. Like if you're growing a tiny human in you, dude, prenatals. This is why everyone's like, prenatals are super important. It's not a bullshit marketing gimmick. They actually are necessary to like make sure that you get enough stuff and that your baby gets enough stuff.
Yep.
So like we always say, be cautious. Like proceed with caution. If it sounds too good to be true, it might be, but it doesn't mean that all of it's bullshit. See what looks okay and then cross-reference it with something that you know is newer, updated, better information. Like
yes. And a lot of times if you're needing to supplement, maybe you are pregnant, a carrying child, maybe you are nursing. But above and beyond that, maybe there are things that your body just doesn't properly break down when you're eating these foods, or they're contained in foods that you don't like to eat.
Yes.
That's a supplemental.
If you're a vegan, you should probably be supplementing B vitamins. You should especially be supplementing B12. If you are anemic, if you're a vegan, you should be taking, or a vegetarian for that matter, if you're not consuming animal products at all, you should probably also be taking an iron supplement. Now, you can get iron out of vegetables, but you can't get it in as large a quantities as your body needs it in if you're not supplementing it in addition to eating like spinach or whatever, you know, like spinach is totally fine. There's plenty of fucking iron in it. But if you're talking about a spinach versus a piece of ground beef or lean beef, like it's not going to even be the same.
Yeah.
So like that's why, you know, supplementation is important in certain situations. If you are in one of those situations, go ahead, supplement. Make sure that it makes sense for you. But this is again why we say go get a physical.
Yes. Talk to your doctor.
Yes. Know what your roadmap is. They'll tell you everything.
Yes.
You'll have to pay them for it, but they'll tell you.
Yeah.
And some vitamins and minerals can also act as antioxidants. So when you hear about superfoods, this is what they're talking about.
Exactly.
Like blueberries have a shit ton of antioxidants and vitamins and minerals in them.
And antioxidants may protect against cell damage that has been associated with certain diseases, including cancer, Alzheimer's, and heart disease. Research has also linked inadequate dietary intake of vitamins A and C with the lower risk of some types of cancer.
Now, this is really, really interesting. Vitamin C, so when my brother had cancer, they were looking at this experimental treatment with vitamin C. And there has been, and this was, 17 years ago almost, so the studies have probably shown more. I haven't looked since then, but I wrote a research paper about it at the time. And they were using vitamin C C in large therapeutic doses to fight cancer, and it was actually working in some degrees. Now, it wasn't working on everything that they had looked at. I'll have to look this up and see if I can find it and stick it in the show notes. This old-ass fucking research that I looked at forever ago. But there was research that shows, there's a direct link between vitamin C and their properties being able to fight certain things in your body. So that's really fucking cool. Drink your OJ. But getting enough of some vitamins can also help you prevent Alzheimer's, and nobody wants that.
Yeah.
It's miserable for the person that's going through it. It's fucking painful and miserable for everyone else that lives around it. Like, my husband lived with his grandmother who had dementia, and he said that shit's like some of the hardest things he's ever done. Avoid at all costs if you can. A review of 7 studies found that adequate dietary intake of vitamins E, C, and A is also associated with 24, 17, and 12% respectively reduced risk of developing Alzheimer's. So that's just some of the benefits that micronutrients can give you and the obvious role that they play in your everyday life.
Yes. So what are micronutrients? There are
strap in. It's about to get nerdy.
Like a literal metric buttload of micronutrients out there. It's literally. And each of them play vastly different roles and also work with each other in your body and within your biology. We're going to cover 10 on this episode. It's not even the most well-known. I put them in here because you don't think of them.
Yep.
But the whole entire comprehensive list, the foods that they can be found in, and the role that they play in your biology are linked in the show notes.
It's like when we did the amino acids episode. We can't cover every fucking
It would
version.
be a 2-hour episode, and we only have
forever.
a finite amount of time.
We would be bored. You would be bored.
Yes.
Nobody would be entertained.
We don't want that for you.
So let's talk about iron. Iron's critical for motor and cognitive development. Children and pregnant women are especially vulnerable for the consequences of iron deficiency. Iron deficiency is not fun. It can make your hair fall out. It can fuck up your blood. Yes. Iron deficiency is a leading cause of anemia, which is defined as a low hemoglobin concentration in your blood. That's bad.
Yes.
Because if I remember correctly, hemoglobin is what carries your oxygen in your blood.
Yes.
Yeah, not good. So oysters, white beans, spinach, full of iron.
Love it.
Vegan options, meat-eating options, you got them all.
You're welcome. Vitamin A. Vitamin A supports healthy eyesight and immune system functions. It can be found in retinol, so liver, dairy, fish, and in sweet potatoes, carrots, and spinach.
Yes. Vitamin A can also help your skin.
Yes.
It's very good for your skin.
Your
the retinol,
skin, hair, and nails.
The retinol in vitamin A is very, very good.
Yes.
So, it's not just like your fitness functions that get better. Like your body is just happier. Your meat suit feels better when you give it what it needs. Weird, what a concept. Vitamin D, it builds strong bones by helping your body absorb calcium. Now, this will help older adults be protected from osteoporosis. It's going to help your immune system resist bacteria and viruses. And I mean, who doesn't want that?
Right.
At this point, shit. It's required for muscle and nerve functions. Bodies make vitamin D from sunlight, which is why we say to go outside and touch grass, among other reasons. You can smoke it too if you want, if it's legal where you are. Sure. Congratulations to the state of Missouri for getting legalized
for grass,
marijuana.
not vitamin D.
Yeah. Have your grass, then have your vitamin D. You get it all down there. Moving to Kansas City got a whole lot more attractive this week, by the way. But vitamin D can also be found in fish oil and milk. So when you hear people talk about fish oil supplements, like this is why it helps with lubricating your joints. There's other properties of fish oil that are really good, but it's also got vitamin D.
Yes. Folate. So everybody needs folate, period.
Yes.
End of story. Also known as vitamin B9 to make new cells every single day. Beef, liver, black-eyed peas, spinach, and asparagus.
Like if we're going to hierarchy ones, folate's definitely in the top 3.
Agreed. Yeah.
Definitely.
Necessary. Everybody has to have it.
Yeah. Zinc's probably up there too, though.
Zinc promotes immune functions and helps people resist infectious diseases, including diarrhea, pneumonia, malaria, and also is necessary for normal growth and wound healing. Oysters, crab, chickpeas.
There's your poop joke for the day. We haven't had one of those in a minute. Diarrhea, cha-cha-cha. Diarrhea, cha-cha-cha.
We're going to talk about poop again later in the episode.
Oh, you know it. We're doing an episode about nutrition. Of course we're going to be talking about pooping. It's like a normal function.
Yes,
so weird.
It is.
It's almost like everybody does it.
Huh. I think there's a book.
I may or may not have read that for my audio production class in fucking community college. It was awesome. The toilet flush was the turn the page sound.
Love it.
Selenium's important for your thyroid health. I know a lot of people deal with thyroid problems. If you have like weird things happening in your body and you haven't been to a doctor to figure out why, go in and get your thyroid checked. Because your thyroid is the first thing that's going to fuck with your metabolism. I mean, PCOS can also do it too and stuff like that. But like, if you are having like weird shit happen, like you're getting warm or you're cold all of a sudden, or like your body's off, go get your thyroid tested.
For sure.
A lot of people have bad thyroids. It doesn't mean that you suck. It just means that your thyroid is shitty.
Yeah.
Take medicine, you'll be better.
Yep.
But you can find it in Brazil nuts, sardines, ham, manganese. It also assists in carbohydrate, amino acid, and cholesterol metabolism, all things that you need. Because if you don't metabolize your food, you're going to be having some very unpleasant shits.
Yes, you are.
Those things come in pineapple, pecans, and peanuts.
Calcium. Calcium is necessary for proper structure and function of bones and teeth, as we know, assists in muscle function and blood vessel contraction. Milk products, leafy greens, broccoli, and then sulfur. Sulfur is part of every living tissue and is contained in amino acids and is found in garlic, onions, Brussels sprouts, eggs, mineral water, just to name a few.
Fart.
It does.
You have onion soup and you can't figure out why you're farty. It's the
sulfur.
B6, it helps your body release sugar from stored carbohydrates for energy and create red blood cells. The B vitamins are super important.
They are.
TLDR, if you are supplementing anything, you should probably look at supplementing your B vitamins, your calcium, and your vitamin D, which you can get your vitamin D with your calcium usually.
Yes.
So there you go.
There you go.
Take a fucking multivitamin.
Yeah.
It's all
nothing
in there.
else.
It's all in there.
Yeah.
Check the ingredients list. Like multivitamins are like the most innocuous. That and like creatine I put up there for like the easiest, safest, most easy to use supplements.
Yeah.
They're the most studied. There's the least amount of bullshit marketing behind them because they are the most studied. Like, just go with that. You can find B6 in fish, milk, carrots, and potatoes. And these are just a few examples of micronutrients. We, again, linked a lengthy article in the show notes with a comprehensive list of all the other micronutrients. Maybe we'll do them on another episode. But until then, if you want to know what they do, find that at meatheadtestkitchen.com.
I really just picked out the main ones that most people are familiar with just to go through what they do for your body, but the list is quite lengthy. But they're all important.
Yes.
So like Sadie said, a multivitamin will take care of all of that. Another unsung hero that we're going to put on this episode because it marries together.
Technically a micronutrient, but it counts.
Yeah, and it's necessary. Water. We've talked about water before. We're going to talk about water again. And
Agua.
It goes without
friend.
It goes without saying, drink your water, you beautiful but dehydrated bitch, or whatever that meme says. You hear it everywhere and every day that you need to be drinking water, but no one really goes into the details of exactly why. So we are going to do that for you. You're welcome in advance.
Yeah, drink your fucking water. Your body is a lot of water. Like 3/4 of your body is comprised of water. So it only makes sense that you need to replenish that shit on a daily basis. Hello? Like, seriously, 3/4 of your body weight is water.
Yes.
When you are doing a bodybuilding competition or a weightlifting competition or anything that requires you to cut for weight, guess what the first thing is that they cut? Water weight. Because it's easy. Because most of your body, again, is fucking made of water. Get it? Your body's made of water. Fucking drink it. I think we've talked about it enough now. But water also flushes waste from your body. It helps you pee and helps you poop. Yes. If you're not getting enough water, you're going to be peeing super dark yellow stinky urine.
And you're probably going to be constipated.
And you're going to be constipated.
Yep.
You want to shit rabbit turds for the rest of your life and be miserable? Okay, don't drink your water.
Whatever.
Or
We're not your mom.
And have a healthy shit every morning when
there
you wake up. But it also helps you regulate your body temperature and assists with brain function. I can tell when I'm dehydrated because I'll wake up in the morning and I am sweaty as fuck. It's like, oh, I need water.
And I'm usually like brain foggy. So water also helps protect your spinal cord, your tissues, and your joints by providing lubrication and cushion for those pretty important items that we just talked about.
Yes.
Water helps flush waste, obviously, via your pee, sweat, and that poop that we mentioned every single episode. The waste elimination process lessens the burden on your kidneys and your liver.
Yeah, your kidneys have to work harder when you aren't drinking as much water because they're not getting as much volume to filter. So when they're getting less volume, they have to filter more shit. So it makes your kidneys do more work.
Yes.
You think your kidneys would be doing less work, but you're actually making them do more work because they have less to work with and more shit to get rid of.
Yes.
Did you also know that water helps with peak athletic performance? I bet you may have, because I think we've mentioned it time or 70. But athletes can sweat up to 6 to 10% of their body weight during physical activity. So if you're a sweaty bitch like Sausha and I, this isn't even the biggest water bottle that I'll take to the gym. I've got a gallon jug, and I don't have a gallon jug because I host a fucking podcast called Meathead Test Kitchen because I'm a meathead loser that doesn't have any fucking friends and just goes to the gym. I have a gallon jug because I'll drink that entire fucking thing while I'm at the gym.
Oh, yeah. I drink a lot of water when I'm working out.
If you're working
sweat
hard.
so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes total fucking sense, right? Hydration also affects your strength, your power, and your endurance. If you're not hydrated, you're going to notice that your lifts feel like shit. You're not going to be able to run, row, or bike as far, and you're going to be tired. Your body needs it. If you're not drinking enough of it, and like water counts and other things too, like tea counts.
Yes.
But like, don't get all your water daily intake in tea.
From tea or coffee.
Or soda.
They're
or
also
coffee.
diuretics because they have caffeine in them. So it's a double-edged sword there. Yes, you're getting water from it, but it's also almost, negating itself because it's also a diuretic.
Speaking of diuretics, you might be more susceptible to the effects of dehydration if you're participating in endurance training or high-intensity sports. So diuretics are fine. Yes, you can have them from time to time. They're not going to kill you. It's not going to kill you to have a glass of tea. Tea is totally fine. It's perfectly healthy for you. There's other shit in tea that your body can use. But, again, those antioxidants and all that stuff we just talked about.
Yes.
But, like, water. Just water. You should be drinking probably at least 6 to 8 ounce cups of water.
And we'll go over
a day.
like the exact measurements here in just a second.
Yeah, it depends on your body mass and all that other shit.
Yes.
But like the negative effects of exercise in the heat without enough water can also include serious medical conditions. We talked about that in the episode Training in Extremes like a year ago, I feel like. But you can have decreased blood pressure, hyperthermia. You can have extreme dehydration, which can cause seizures or even death.
Yep.
When you hit that point where you're so dehydrated that you start to get lightheaded, you're already sliding into stage 2 dehydration. If you don't get that shit handled, you can go into shock and die.
Yes. Like not trying to scare you,
No.
but like legit.
But
when
like-
I ran the half marathon a couple weeks ago, people were not anticipating it being as warm as it was as fast as it got that day.
Yeah.
That race started at 8:30 in the morning. By the time that we were done running, around 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 and on, it was already almost 90 degrees outside.
How many people passed out on the course?
A lot. And there were wildfires in western Nebraska, so the fire department and emergency was already tapped. They had to have people from other surrounding
shit.
areas come in and provide support with emergency services. It's kind of scary. Fucking make sure you're hydrated. And even if you think you're the most prepared and hydrated the night before, you're going to do something extreme, hydrate more. Drink some more water.
If you are feeling thirsty at any point, you're already dehydrated.
Yep.
Yeah. So from experience, if we're going to do a little personal anecdote here, we'll talk about dehydration. So last summer, my husband worked the Machine Gun Kelly show at West Fair. That fucking day, it was like it was in September. I was DJing a wedding, so I was hiding in the air conditioning being a nerd that day. But he was over slinging beers in the beer tent at West Fair. And they ended up getting like 96 degree air temp, and it was like a 105. Like it was fucking hot. We used to live in the tropics. I lived in Puerto Rico for 5 years. It was fucking hot. And he went down because he only had 4 20-ounce bottles of water in the course of that day, and he got lightheaded, and he went down, and he had to have 2 bags of IV fluid. And after those 2 bags of IV fluid, he still hadn't pissed yet. That's how dehydrated he was. Had he not gotten immediate help, he might be dead.
Yep.
That's how
Water's
fucking important it is. Like when you start to feel lightheaded and you get that hot, buzzy feeling like you're going to go down, you need to get a hold of somebody, because if you're dehydrated and it's hot, you need to have that shit immediately.
Yep.
Full stop, no joke, not to scare you, but literally will fucking kill you.
Yes, that's why water is so freaking important. And honestly, like we're adding it to, it's the 31st micronutrient.
Yes.
In addition to helping with food breakdown, water also helps dissolve those vitamins and minerals we just talked about and other nutrients from your food. It then delivers those vitamin components to the rest of your body for use. Water is fucking important if you're not understanding what we're trying to get at here. Water also delivers oxygen to your entire body. Reaching your daily water intake will improve your circulation, and water can assist with cognitive function. There are studies linking dehydration with negative impacts on focus, short-term memory, and alertness.
And now supplement companies will try to sell you a fucking caffeine product to fight those things, or you can just drink a fucking glass of water.
Yeah.
Center yourself and go on with your day.
It's fine.
So I think we've talked about enough reasons why water is important, but how much should you be drinking every day? Now, everybody has a different opinion depending on who you ask, so we went to the authority.
Yes, and it's also going to depend on a few different factors, but overall, just in general, according to the Mayo Clinic, every day you lose water through your breath, your perspiration, urine, bowel movements. For your body to function properly, you have to replenish the water supply by consuming beverages. It doesn't just have to be water, but water would be great. Beverages and foods that contain water. The U.S. National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine determined that an adequate daily fluid intake is about 15.5 cups or 3.7 liters, depending where you are, of fluids a day for men, and 11.5 cups or 2.7 liters of fluids a day for women.
Why is that? Chemical processes are different.
And cups are 8 ounces, by the way.
Yes, 8 ounces. And so if you're drinking like a pint glass, then you need, there's 2 servings in a pint glass.
Right.
So like when we say drink a serving of water, we're not saying that you have to drink that many, 16 ounce glasses. Do some quick math, go on with your day.
Right.
And those recommendations cover fluids from water, other beverages, and food. About 20% of your daily fluid intake does come from food and the rest from drinks.
Yes.
So instead of watching some, shallow, stupid TikTok video about how some girl that has no personality drinks 4 matcha teas and then she has some salty water and then she drinks a really expensive electrolyte stick, you could just fucking drink water and stop giving those people their attention.
Right. I mean, I understand that some people don't. Okay, first of all, water doesn't have flavor, so when you say you don't like the taste of water, it's weird to me. But I understand that there's nothing to it.
I used to say that. I hate the chlorinated flavor in water.
Yeah. And maybe they do have, sugar-free or like the little drops that you can put in there.
They Mio drops or
they
Crystal
fucking
Light sticks or whatever.
Goddamn containers now that like just gives you a scent.
Yeah, it's got a pod in it.
Yes.
And you
so
just
like
pop
you don't
the pod
even
and
have
go.
to like have anything physically in there. It's a brain correlation. You're smelling it.
If you say you don't like how water tastes, I'm going to challenge you to try water that's not from your faucet. Now, I'm thinking...
Throw that shit in a Brita pitcher.
Yes, get a Brita. Britas are super cheap.
Yeah. They're
like you can get them on sale for $20 or less.
The little filter things last for quite a while.
Yeah, they usually last you like 3 to 6 months, depending on how much you use it. Yeah. Because, I used to also hate the flavor. When we lived in Puerto Rico, I made Phil buy a reverse osmosis filtration system because the water there tastes like dog shit. It's so fucking chlorinated that I was like, I don't even want to drink this. So I get it. If you say you don't like the taste of water, I believe you. Try something else.
Yeah. Try a different way. Get a little filter. If you got to, put some Mio drops in there. Do what you have to do just to drink water.
Yeah, but make sure you're getting your water. And like everything, your recommendations are going to depend on other factors that are going on in your individual life, including your exercise, your environment, your overall health, and your even pregnancy and breastfeeding. Like if you live somewhere that's hotter, you might actually be drinking more than that 15.5 or 11.5 cups of water a day.
That's just the bare minimum.
Yeah, that's just the basement.
Yes.
You have to at least have this. So if you're drinking more, also don't think that there's something wrong with you.
No. I've like water dependent now.
Our emotional support.
I will say that when I started making myself bring a water bottle with me every single where I went, whatever, every single place I went,
that works.
I don't know what's happening. It's Thursday, okay? It's Thursday, my dudes, I think. Is it right? Okay.
Is it?
We usually record on Thursday or Friday. It is Thursday today.
Thursday.
But when I started bringing it with me, I automatically started drinking more water because that's what was available to me.
Yeah.
I always had something with me to drink, and it was water. Just got used to it. And now I feel lost when I don't have a water bottle with me. Absolutely thrown off.
And I'm the same way. If I don't leave myself that option of like water in the fridge or like I've got a couple pitchers of tea in the fridge as well, I'll reach for a soda. Mm-hmm. I'll reach for a soda 10 times out of 10 because I'm like, ooh, fizzy sweet.
Right. You're just taking it out of the equation. I was reading The Power of Habit, and I wasn't drinking enough water, so I changed my routine by bringing water with me all the time, and now it's a habit to drink water all the time.
But it's good for you because your overall health. I mean, your body loses fluids when you have a fever, if you vomit, when you have the runs. Drink more water or follow a doctor's recommendation for oral rehydration solutions, so like liquid IV.
Exactly.
We're not saying everybody needs liquid IV. That shit's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
We're not telling you to run out and buy that.
Right.
But like if you are like an endurance athlete and you're struggling with your hydration, guess what we had on the van? thankfully nobody cracked into it, I don't think, but we had a box of Liquid IV in our van when we ran market to market, just in case.
Yep.
There's other conditions that might require increased fluid intake, like bladder infections, urinary tract infections, like stones,
You're
there
also
are other things.
obviously going to want to drink more water if you're exercising, because exercise makes you sweat, which means you're losing water, which also means you need to replenish that loss of hydration. Your environment, again, we talked about hot and humid weather. It's going to make you sweat. Going to require additional fluid. When you're thirsty, you grab some fucking water. Water is important. Just like some of those micronutrients are essential to everyday everything, so is water. So eat food, drink water, and be fucking merry.
God damn it.
Also, be fucking nice. We have merch.
Oh my God.
We have new t-shirts. If you haven't seen them, go to our Instagram page.
I almost wore it today, but it showed up this morning and I didn't get to wash it, and I'm weird about that shit.
They're pretty fucking badass. So check that stuff out.
We're doing good.
We have workout programs. Sadie, also, you have a couple spots open?
I have a couple spots open, by the way. Welcome to Corey and Moo for joining the Meathead family last week. Welcome. We have a couple spots left. If you need guidance with your nutrition or with your training, hit me up. You can find all that information at meatheadathletics.com. We have templates available for training. If you don't have the time or the money to throw at a personal trainer, we get that. We've been there too. That's why we offer templates that you can use over and over and over again, because they're based on percentages. So check those out, meatheadathletics.com. Maybe we'll do a sale for Thanksgiving. Maybe we won't. I haven't decided yet. Maybe we'll have that other fucking program done by then too.
That's why I wrote coming soon.
And then there's something else coming soon as well.
We're really
that we're working
excited
on.
about it, and we won't tell you what it is because that's what a tease is. So you're going to have to pay attention to our socials, where we're at Meathead Test Kitchen everywhere except for Twitter. We're at MTK Staff. Always have the show notes and Amazon storefront. All of our favorite shit is on meatheadtestkitchen.com.
Yep. You can find both merch links at meatheadathletics.com or meatheadtestkitchen.com. That's it.
Yeah, we love you.
Okay. Have a good week. Love you. Bye.
Out. MTK out.
Join Sadie and Sausha every Monday, helping to make your fitness and nutrition journey suck less. MTK.